friends, but don't nobody give a sugar honey iced tea. Because when it's you and you got to go through because of a warlock wizard nosy and in your business. Hey, y'all ever notice that evil is the most sensitive bitches on the planet? I said they start the most trouble, talk the most smack, but then when you get them, like a skittle back, they crying. Oh, I want to call authorities and shit. You the one that don't even follow authorities. Man, sit your blaspheming butt down, bro. So, on Facebook, due to, the witches done attacked me again, I ain't in trouble. I ain't got nothing to post, but I went to go try to record my thing just to spinning. And it's saying that I can't record, you know what I mean? So we did a little reset. It's still doing the same thing. That is a attack, y'all. So we're just going to put it on Facebook later. After these messages, we be right back. So they know that on Facebook, we are very powerfully influenced. And they keep me at a boundary on Google's and YouTube. So they don't mind me coming to YouTube. But little do they know, y'all gonna start coming over here and then being influenced. And then say, bump Facebook. And see, this is how stuff starts. But that message right there, that first message right there, see which hit rituals. Woe to you, women who headhunt my people's souls. Well, yeah, that's scripture right there, YouTube. But currently, because they don't want to be exposed, they are doing their little witchy poo stuff until the Most High make me get aggravated and I burn the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do. We take off the heads of snake, clip their wings, and feed them back to the birds they came from. And then they'll know what to deal with it, right? That's what you do to a snake. That's what the Father said. But hey. New track. Let me explain to you at the end of this predicate. You said right, you definitely get a definite. Who is desperate? My people see a lot of pain, calling on my name, but it is the wrong name. What am I to do when I give you the points of view? Is very relevant. We ain't got no problem telling you the relevant. You know that I'm heaven sent, not hell bent. Get over it. Yahuwah, Yahusha, Ashe, hallelujah, for Yahuwah. You can either get the name right, you can either get a win tonight. Salvation is shot, my friends. I don't know why you out here faking, out here in the pretending, chasing these women, taking medicine where you take that, my friend. That new track. Now, what we got in the Facebook, let's let them tell you. Yay? Of course, yay. We start here, hey?
Don't just take classes, take charge. Start your comeback today at PurdueGlobal.edu.
Together, your love turned the whole world on its head.
Are they serious? Then they're gonna try to hit me for saying the commercial. It's all set up, y'all.
There's more to imagine when you
Fuck
listen.
them.
Blase. But it turned into something physical. So you got to understand, when you take from the spirit, because the spirit runs the body, right? So when you do
listen
well. March of 2025, and not too long after she died, I had a vision of D'Angelo being on his stomach, and this was done by Angie Stone. So I think that we should do a video concerning D'Angelo and his well-being right now, since he has passed. Before we get started, if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell so you can be notified when I drop a video. Please like, comment, and share this video. Please beware of scammers. I do not have WhatsApp. Go to my website to book my services. A clickable link is in my bio. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not even going to hold y'all because I know y'all been waiting on this, right? So I did my mediumship channeling. Let me go back to my notes here about D'Angelo. So
now, a good witch and a bad witch, an evil witch and a witch that works with light. You still Ezekiel, huh? Yeah, I'm coming. You still Ezekiel, all right? What is it, chapter 14, about verse 13 to the end. Woe to you who headhunt my souls. Now, for example, so niggas don't get it twisted. I see my face, man. All right. Now, in that, you see she's seeing into the soul. You know, look through the peephole, to see what houses the soul. I mean, it's in my descriptions. I know I sound like I'm rhyming a lot, or a poet, or poetry. I'm not. I'm telling you the frequency. So again, she is head hunting the soul. Is he walking around? No, he ain't. He's a disembodied spirit. Let's say it again. Yeah, we gotta refresh people's memory. They think the word is like gone away and it ain't alive. Man, nigga, please. So, she's headhunting a soul. You would call it necromancy. See, I show you both sides. And then I show you why I chose holy righteousness. This is what we do every day, all day. In case you don't understand. Because we got to leave you with a choice. 9 times out of 10, bank 10 out of 10, you're already in sorcery. You already believe in a lie, thinking you already with the Most High. And not. So, hey, it's your choice, your life. You live it.
Well, what I see right now, and you got to remember, I'm looking at his spirit, not his soul.
Boom! She said
right now, he is back when he was doing the album Voodoo, and there's a reason for that. Okay, it has not been the 3rd day, it has only been the 2nd day. His soul will be set to do whatever it's supposed to do on the 3rd day. Okay, just like Angie, he is set to do what somebody else wants him to do. His soul does not belong to him. Okay, so we got to go back to when him and Angie met. So when I look at everything, Angie was into some stuff. I don't care what y'all say. She was doing voodoo. But of course, this ritual was done. We know they do rituals in the music industry. So what I see is D'Angelo laying on his back. Angie is beside him, and it's almost like she's like, lack of better words, like a snake charmer. She is having him in a trance. He cannot move. Hence, when I look at him right now, there's issues with his legs. I see him on his knees, and I see like a leg brace on his leg. So that lets me know that he has not had control over himself for a long time. That's symbolism, right? He has not had any control. His legs are of no use. That's actual, and it's symbolism, right? So it was symbolism when this ritual was first done, but as he got sick, it actually started happening. So that's what it was set to be. It was set to be the ritual for him not to have any control and him not to be able to control his energy, because Angie took a lot of it. Reason being is they were working together, okay? So they needed to exchange energy for this album, Voodoo, to be successful, all right? And that's exactly what they did, Voodoo, right? So you know how I say they put things out here in front of your face? They was telling you that Voodoo was being done. D'Angelo, he was okay with it, but he was not the smartest person in the room. I'm just gonna tell y'all that right now. Why was he okay with it? Their relationship was purely sex. Purely sex, okay? Like, as I'm doing the video, I can feel like the passion. I can feel like the lust that they had for each other. That's all it was. And it was only sex because they were transferring energy. What y'all need to understand is that people in the industry, they use sex for a lot of things to transfer industry. Hence, Diddy, the parties that he had, they've been doing this for a long time. It actually started with the actors. They started these parties like a long time ago. So nothing's really changed. New day.
I'm not really a cupcake, but I am super baked. Thanks to Mood Canada.
Mood is third-party tested, so you know it's safe.
And it ships legally and discreetly to your door, so you can say hi to your neighbors without being shamed.
Oh, hi, Callie.
Hi, Barb.
Everyone here hates your guts so much. I love Mood Canada because their real flour helps me deal with fake people.
Yeah, I love what you've done with your garden. It's so wild. Did you hear me?
Barb may be the fakest person I've ever met, but you know what's real? Mood's 50,000 5-star reviews. Like this one. Mood really helps me stay motivated and focused. I can hit this all day long. Whether you want to soothe your body, relax after a long day, or just want to have a good time, there's a Mood for that.
Whether you need to soothe your body, relax after
Barb, get out of my house!
Yeah.
Pause.
They started these parties like a long time ago. So nothing's really changed. New day, same old thing, okay? So that's what that's used for. And why do they do this? They're trying to imitate what happens in the spiritual realm out in the physical. Because in the spiritual realm, y'all all have had those dreams where you see like orgies or things like that, or people having sex. That's to get energy. That's to find somebody to make a contract with you. And you can have these dreams for years, right? Until that right person comes along to make a contract. It's not about the actual physical act, but it is used for that energy, okay? So what they do out here in the physical is that they do these rituals and they do the real thing to do these things. So this is the voodoo that was placed on him. So when I see it, like I said, it was placed on him to control him. It was purely for sex. They needed this energy for this album that they was creating and for both of their careers. So Angie basically took from him. She drained all of him. It was supposed to be put up that way. But don't get it twisted. Angie, that she was not a bad person, but you got to realize, and she said herself, and we already know, she got into it. And, you know, when she realized, well, I ain't gonna say when she realized, but she started talking close to her death. Like, she know what she had got into. But remember I told her she got mad at me? She said, I was young.
Pause. I'm gonna have to announce this whenever they'll let me go live on Facebook. But I just received word. Baraka and may Yahuwah continue Baraka in you and return it back with 1,000,000-fold to Miss Kimberly Gardner. I don't know who this is, but it say Auntie Kathy. Auntie Kathy. That's what my wife said the Cash App name says. And a Margaret, man, forgive me, I'm terrible with names. Bethahaya, Bethaeea. I know I messed that up. But Miss Margaret, Auntie Kathy, look at that, all women of the Holy Spirit. Look at that, Kim Gardner. You can thank them for the rest of y'all that reap off of while we gonna keep on continuing. Because in about an hour, the internet was about to be cut off. That's why I was doing all that I can. And so, because of these 3 souls right here, really one, I'm saying, we're gonna bless some other folks. Mr. Kimberly Gardner. And so now we can keep on going with a breath of fresh air. And I promise you, if you don't reap for sowing seeds in this ministry, then you have a right to come back and expose the liars. But everybody, as far as even clicking the share button, whether I'm on YouTube or Facebook, if they benefit off of a share, off of just a comment and not sharing, just talk to those people, how they benefit off the power of the Holy Ghost. Okay? And you was only told to give a drink of water, and the prophet must bless or baraka your home, or prophetess, or, you know, whatever title you think the person is, or whatever. And so, everybody got water for free. You know what I'm saying? But when you do a little more than water, remember when with the Kirby business, it says we don't try to sell you nothing. The machine does everything it's supposed to, and you can write it off in tax because it's a household cleaner. You feel me? And so we would tell the people that, get that $3,000 back. All right, just, you know, make sure it's done within that year or before the year. But you want to make a quarter. Quarter is a 3 month. 2 quarter is 2-3 months. 3 months, that's 9 months, and third month, that's 12, all right? So in that quarter at tax time, you get all that money back. So you basically neutralize and got something that you invested. That's why they use that word, invest. Because when you invest something, you get something back. You never lose when you invest, you know what I'm saying? The right way. And so you get that back, you get the $3,000 back, like you never spent it. So you like got the machine for free, and then you know how your tax is. You get all that money for free. Now, not free, but you know how it is. And this is all legal without no bending the rules, doing some sneaky shit, landing you in jail. This is what the people do. This is why you say, well, why the white man, or why the Jew man, or the Indian man, and the casino man, because you ain't got the knowledge, man. So you would write that off, and it's like you're not hurt because it come back. So this is what the rich man does to y'all banks, right? The 13 families y'all never see. For some reason, this dude is bigger than the entertainment, and you never seen him in his life, but he's in the newspaper, woo, because he was running the world. You know what I'm saying, old fart. But we didn't know that when he was young. We didn't know who this guy was. He stayed behind the scenes. Something that regular folks can't do when they be risen up in the nation, you see. We get too prideful. You see what I'm saying? So I had to take a minute, because I'm on YouTube. I'd rather have been on Facebook, because I know for sure that the people that I need to talk to, it would hit their ear. I don't know if everybody got me on Facebook, and right now they are hitting my pages. These witch, wizard, warlock niggas, all right, is attacking my pages, all right, because I'm not in trouble. I ain't got no hits. Well, on YouTube, I got a strike because they were mad because we were revealing them. Yeah, they get mad. I'm telling you, evil is the most sensitive bitches on the planet. I got to say it like that, so forgive me if you don't like wordy dirds. I'm sorry, you know, but that's the only word that can fit the narrative. You know what I'm saying? How you start trouble and get your ass whipped and then go cry to authorities. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life, man. See, I'm from the streets, you know what I'm saying? God changed my life. I'm from the streets, and I ain't seen no... You see a lot of stuff on the streets, man. There's snitches in the streets. There's rats, all right? But that kind of ratting, bro, that's only found in the book called The Accuser of the Brethren. How you set a nigga up and then go to God like he didn't see you do that. Like you really got a case. You know what I'm saying? Woo! Back to the program. Let's go.
So this is what we have, right? So this is what happened. So, all right. So right now there's a dark cloud. There's a lot of smoke. I see him in the studio, and he's back in that time frame. like I said, he cannot walk right now. He's on his knees, and then he'll show me with him being like in a wheelchair. So I want to point something out. They say he was so heartbroken when Angie died. Yes, because he knew his time was coming. He knew his time was coming, okay? Because he know what they did during that time frame. So typically when things are done to you or you work together with someone, this is particularly something that happens in a lot of witches. So like when a witch has a warlock that she is up under, and that warlock drains that woman, that witch's energy, because that's how they work. They take energy, right? And they do this and they do that, and they have her doing stuff to other people, taking their energy. They call, kitchen witches, all that kind of stuff like that. How you cut off that witch is that you cut off the head, and the head is the warlock. When the warlock dies, the witch is going to follow.
Oh my God! Fire! 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 Boy, she said a lot. All right, let me go to this scripture, man. Sometimes I got a habit of saying scriptures. I just want to make sure I'm in the spirit. You know what I mean? Cause like this morning I was saying the script. I one of these lives yesterday. One of them. I was like, so chapter 60, and when it was actually chapter 61. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make sure I give you the right Ezekiel book. You know what I mean? What is this reading crap? Okay, I don't like that word read. You know? I don't. I'm just being honest with you. You know what? I don't know nothing about this type of, I don't know nothing about that. So let me go to a book I know. All right, let me see. Ezekiel, chapter 14, Amplified. I ain't got time for the boo-boo, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, guessing games. I don't know what this book is saying. I ain't never been there. I know the book, Maccabees, but, I don't know how to work the app. And so we on YouTube, people think their attention span is terrible. They're like, if you ain't popping, nigga, in the next 3 seconds, we're leaving. You know what I'm saying? It's pressure, y'all. So, or if I were to bring a sword, she say cut niggas' heads off, right? Because I know I said it. We round here, we cut snake, witches, wizards, warlocks. We cut your head off here. That's why we not like. And they don't want us to teach you that influential power, because then how would they win anymore, right? Prophet sins and entice. He who caused the prophet to speak falsely, inquire sin. I will stretch my hand. They both will bear. Okay, see? That's why I check. That's why I check myself. So this is what we're going to do here. I said the right script. So how about I just say, woe to you women. There's a lot of scriptures in my head and a lot of books and Qurans, and sometimes my head get clouded. That head hunt, that's what I'm looking for. That head hunt my people's souls. So if I'm saying the wrong script, head hunt, it won't come up, right? My people's soul. See, I had this problem with Gemini because I was saying one wrong word in the thing, and it caused everything not to go well. So head hunt my people's soul. I don't spell soul as Shaul, but for this stupid thing to understand what I'm saying. I was one chapter behind. God dang it, 13. Okay, knew something wasn't right. Something right, y'all. So this is what we do. Bow. So 13 verse 14 on down. Now, see, this is why the Spirit say, hey, you better go double check that. I've been yelling all day, chapter 14. If anybody took that seriously, they were like, BC done, either he lied or he got the chapters mixed up. It all depends on how well you know my spirit inside me. If you don't know me, you're going to say I lied. So, let me clear that up. So, right here. Yeah. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah, I will make a violent wind. Woo-wee. Don't Sumerian gods know about that east wind, huh? Break out in my wrath, and there will be in my anger an overwhelming rain and great hailstones, comets and meteorite showers, to destroy that wall. What wall? A wrath. So I will tear down the wall which you have plastered with whitewash and bring it down to the ground so that the foundations will be exposed. Verse 17. Now you, son of man, set your face against what? Snake women, daughters of your people who are prophesying out of wishful thinking, out of their own mind and inspiration. Kind of like what's going on today with a prosperous gospel. That boo-boo. So it said, prophesy against them and say, thus saith Yahuwah, woe to you women. See it? You handlers, you Eastern stars, you entertainers, you whores, woe to you who fasten magic, look, protective charms on all your wrists. Well, let's pull up, let's see if it's a lie. This is how I tested the word of God, y'all. I gotta pull up another screen. Screen. Let's just put up, I can see this thing, I can taste the word of God. Let's just see. Let's see. Look at that shit. Look at that. What is that in here? What is that? What the hell is that? Charms. Sending out frequencies. Hey, let's do another one. Just in case you be like, you just picking on her. I call out all them chicks. Bae, Yan is the yin yang. So that's already a genie. Beyonce. Now, what is that? I mean, y'all been to the concert or at least seen the mug when she all over the damn horse half naked, right? Yeah, so I like it's something new, all right? You see, that's a spirit Naga. See, Naga. That ain't her. She ain't her no more. When she sold over, she's not her no more. That's why she called her Beyonce. What's her real name? See, you can't put your real name. And if you do, you gobble that up, and now that's entertainment. Or you say entity, or you say Largo, right? You can put your daughter in it, right? There you go. Charms. What do you, Red Hunt? Oh, act like you ain't never heard that she be out here cutting niggas, how they say it, Lord? How the world say it? How do they say it? Oh, she undercut me. And now I can't sing. That's why I don't have movies. And so you heard it. I'm saying something new. But when a nigga can show you, exactly what he just read, and these people ain't trying to follow the Bible to the T, well, why are you doing exactly what I just read now? Can somebody answer that? And you gonna ask me, is the Bible real? You see why I laugh a lot, right? Because if I don't laugh, I'm gonna say something real smart and sarcastic that might get my ass kicked out of heaven. And so all I can do is laugh. Laugh at or laugh with you. All depends on the situation. At least I'm truthful with you. Will you capture the lives of my people, but keep your own? You gonna headhunt my own soul? You gonna headhunt our soul but keep yours? Oh boy, it don't work like that. You have profaned me among my people in payment. Sellouts. Uncle Tom ass niggas. All right, but that's not the real Uncle Tom. All right, for handfuls of barley. Boy, that was said in Revelation. That's for sure. And pieces of bread. Surely coming up right now because y'all crashing out about them food stamps, ain't you? That's what you get for depending on man. And I kept trying to explain to y'all. Let go of the delicacies. Forget Jordan. Why you making another nigga rich and you ain't even got it like that? Hey, I don't know. It's just in the way you say things, I guess. You have profaned me among my people in payment and foliage of handful of barley and pieces of bread, killing people who should not die, and giving a guarantee of life to those who should not live because you're lies to my people who pay attention to lies. They got itching ears for bullshit. All right, I'm saying? You gotta say it like that in these days today because they wasn't getting it. When Daddy, Mommy was talking to us, when we were saying it proper, when we even watered down because we knew it was gonna hurt your damn feelings. Well, today, the gig is up, nigga. All right, don't come to this channel if you ain't mature enough to hold the weight that curse words aren't cursing people. If I am effing mad at you, I am going to say all negative words whether I curse or not. And some words are worse than the curse words. Now, which one would you rather deal with? A direct nigga that's gonna tell you, I don't like you. At least you know where you stand. Or someone that's gonna play and dance around the ring and act like they with you and you won't find out till you get jumped. That's a terrible time to find out that you ain't got no help. I said yeah. So now you have this going on. Right in front of our eyes, snatching kids, touching the least of our children. That goes for an adult that's 70 years old but got a mind like a 6-year-old. You count too. That's not just babies. All right, anybody righteous, they want your energy. And when they can't get the energy, that's when they get desperate and adrenochrome, because that's where the spirit lies in the blood, right? Leviticus chapter 17, verse 11 through the end. Okay, so, all right, it makes sense. So we now know what Hollywood really doing, right? Oh, yes. If you think English language is spelling casting, what the hell is songs and rap? Because rap is the first casting spell. That's why I never called my ass a rapper. I'm a lyricist or an MC master. But a rapper, those are for actors.
When the warlock dies, the witch is going to follow after, okay? So this is the same situation. Angie was the one in control of D'Angelo, right, in the ritual. She's the one who took from him. So therefore, she's gone. So he was coming after. And he knew that. That's why he was so upset. Y'all took it as him being sympathetic and all that kind of stuff like that to her. Not saying he didn't have any feelings for her or anything like that. But
Jermaine struggled for years with dental issues before finally finding Nubia. Listen to what he wanted most after his smile.
See, y'all, we on a timer. See, there ain't no yellow bars for commercial. So that's a time thing. So when I pause, y'all, AI be listening to us. You see what I'm saying? Then we copying, throwing that commercial, trying to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, man, I be monitored, bro. Y'all not understanding, man. I ain't high. I ain't talking crazy. This shit is real.
He knew that was going to happen, okay? When I see him before he died, like during the time of his life at the end, he would have like a lot of pain in his sternum area from here, like down to his stomach. Even before he was like diagnosed, he dealt with that. He could feel that, right? He did not know how it would show up. He actually did not know that it would, like anything would happen. He just thought it was just like, you know, the ritual or whatever. We did what we did, blase, blase. But it turned into something physical. So you got to understand, when you take from the spirit, because the spirit runs the body, right? So when you do something with the spirit, eventually you're going to feel it in your physical body. So why did this happen to D'Angelo? Because he had no control over anything. He didn't have no control over his soul, his spirit, or his body, right? So therefore he didn't know, oh, I need to do this, I need to fix this with myself. Why? Because he didn't have no control over it. So he succumbed to the disease. It was able to come in and take him out, which was the plan, okay? So, I mean, it's basically like, it's cut and dry. It's nothing really that, you know, that is just out. I mean, of course, it's out of the ordinary, but it's no like long saga. It's nothing that, you know, that I have to go deep into. Of course, with my gift, I can see it just like that. But I guess what I need to go over is to let you guys understand how things like this are not out of the ordinary. It's not out of the ordinary. You're just not used to hearing about it. You haven't seen this before, okay? And it just happens. This is life. People dibble and they dab in rituals. I've been telling y'all for almost over a year now that these celebrities partake in these rituals, okay? Satanic ritual abuse. These people that are high in power, they're always trying to emulate something in the spiritual realm, okay? They're always doing something, okay? Not to just bring it back up again, but to bring it back up again. Just recently, the Charlie Kirk thing, it's all ritualistic, Okay, it's all ritualistic. Now, do people not die of natural causes? Of course they do. But we're talking about people, and this is a different breed. Y'all can't understand it. Well, I ain't gonna say all of y'all, but some of y'all can't understand it because you don't come from that. You're not in that realm of people. Okay, you don't have the gifts to see things. You're very much still in the matrix. So this seems very far-fetched for you guys, but it's not. People in the industry know what's going on. It's not far-fetched. The fact that Angie Stone would not let me get this out my mind, and I had to make that video, and I didn't take the time to understand why she was putting it in my mind, but she had to, because I had already.
See? I gotta get my thoughts together, man. Angie is a title, a vessel, something that was used by the Matrix, and now it's a disembodied spirit. It was something else before it was Angie. Do y'all understand? We do not war against what we see, flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities. Now put into an artificial alternate box called technology. They have a suit now. They can play mad mimic games with us now. They were already playing games with us as an embodiment. Oh, but now it's even greater now. So the fact that she is giving us the understanding and then go back and say Angie, no, the spirit over Angie. Angie is no more. The soul was ate once it left the body. Thus you are, thus you will eat all the days of your life, snake nigga, which is the Serapian. All right, you say metaphysics of the world, of the universe, all right? Subatomical particles and things like that. Dark energy, dark matter, things like that suck out the light out of a star, which is really the soul. Yep. Okay, so now it ain't Angie. I'm saying something that used the title of that vessel, but it ain't her.
Saw it, because this is what was going to happen. It was literally like just coming out what had already been done. It was already predestined by the people that they work for. So the same fate that right? Angie had with her soul is going to be the same thing as D'Angelo, okay? Because they did the ritual together. I say together, but D'Angelo, he just basically just let her do it. He didn't put up a fight, okay? So that's why I say together, all right? He's not an innocent bystander, but he was newer to the game, okay? So it's kind of like, you got the OG taking the energy from the new person, okay? That's just how it go. And if they was gonna be doing this album together, honey, they needed some voodoo to happen to get this chemistry. They needed that chemistry, right? That chemistry. How does it feel? You remember that video? Come on. Y'all seen what they put on that. The answer's right there anyway. They needed this energy at that time, okay, for this to sell. All right. So they had to do what they had to do to make this thing come together. And if you notice now, let me put this out here. Angie had a problem with the fact that nobody knew about them. If you was like me, I did not know about them until I got older. This was not a relationship that was put in the public, mind you, right? Remember when I said in my video, Angie was that girl, they tried to play her, you know what I'm saying? So even though she got something out of the deal, it was D'Angelo that was put in the forefront as the sex symbol, okay? And, they were not showing that Angie was on his arm. So, that was a diss to her, you know what I'm saying? So she was dissed as well. So, that pissed her off. So he did get something out of it. So please do not look at him as a victim, okay? But yeah, their relationship was purely sex. It was because of the energy that they need to have. Voodoo was done, and it was done so that album Voodoo could come out the way that it needed to come out, okay? And so if you did not get anything else, why D'Angelo is gone? It's because Angie is gone. If Angie would still be here, he would still be here. Why did he get the pancreatic cancer? It's because of the ritual that they done, that it affected his spirit. Then it went to his physical body, okay? And so now that he's gone, that's how it works, okay? Cut and dry. Y'all know I'm going to give it to you straight. No chaser. Voodoo was done on D'Angelo. Why was Voodoo done on D'Angelo? So him and Angie could have this energy during that album, and so D'Angelo could have the energy that he needed as well to be looked at the way that he was looked at, okay? So if y'all got some questions, you want to add to it, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I will see y'all on the other side in the astro. Until next time, bye.
If you live in a Florida zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years, listen carefully. I was an insurance agent for 30 years, and what I'm about to tell you could save you up to 80% on your auto insurance. Here's what the industry doesn't want you to know. Florida drivers pay the most for car insurance out of any state in the country. We call drivers in this state gold tier clients, the ones we'd fight to keep because of inflated commissions. But here's the dirty secret. If you're in Florida, they won't let you know you can lower your rate now, and they're happy to keep overcharging you. My neighbor Jessica from Tampa, Perfect Record, was paying $180 a month for 15 years. I told her, try out my new website. She found the same coverage for $72. Saved 60% after filling out the form through my official website. After 30 years in insurance.
Now, hold on 1 second, brother. Boy, let's get that off right now for these niggas hit me talking about around here soliciting. All right, we got that. We took care of that. Now let's get this one.
Drugs 2.
Woo! Let's rewind. Go ahead.
Reader and fan of history, and love, the Black Panthers and all that stuff.
Saw you hanging out with Bobby Seale.
Yes, sir.
That's a nice piece of New York Times.
Oh my God.
I love that piece.
Oh, thank you.
We'll talk more about that, but go ahead. Is there anything about the business that has changed that you do like over these years? I mean, certainly technology has changed, but you such a stripped down sort of cat anyway.
Yes,
it's not like you need technology to do what you do. It's not in that way. But is there anything about the business that you like that's changed over these couple decades? He pauses. Okay, moving on. I guess not. But that doesn't surprise me, man, because the game has changed in so many ways that people are just annoyed by.
I think that the technology, it serves for potentiality for a lot of new things. It's so wide open right now because but that's it's exciting and it's scary at the same time. But everything moves in cycles. So as bad as it can get, there's still like this silver lining behind that. Because it's got to come around at some point. And I can feel it. You can feel it bubbling underneath. Yeah.
And you already know, on this channel, we hold racist Caucasian people accountable, because if we don't, who will? And before we start this video, if you don't like black people, black issues, black talks, get to stepping. And look, before I spaz out in this video, I just want to show y'all how the music industry, they use our people. They use them up and they spit them out. They don't give a damn about them. They don't care if we die early from cancer. They don't give a damn about none of that. Check this out. D'Angelo's relationship with his record label soared after the album Voodoo. He clashed with executives who pushed an image he didn't want, especially after the untitled How Does It Feel video. He felt the industry was exploiting this image instead of respecting his artistry. As the years passed, D'Angelo's creative disputes turned financial. Virgin Records lost patience with the slow pace and cut funding around 2004. Without label backing, his albums were shelved and tour income dropped. Contract changes and royalty delays left him struggling financially, even as his legacy stayed strong. By the time Black Messiah dropped in 2014, D'Angelo had already faced years of label disputes, tax debt, and lost earnings. The long hiatus and industry conflicts played a major role in his financial troubles, showing how business pressure can break even the most talented artists. Make that make sense. And I want y'all to do your research on Richard Branson. At the time, he was the owner of Virgin Records. And I want you to see what our people go through dealing with these evil-ass record labels. Because just like Angie Stone, D'Angelo didn't sell out. So when you don't sell out, they cut your funding. When you don't sell out, it's no more tours. When you don't sell out, they stop pushing your music. When you don't sell out, they put you in debt on purpose. Tell me I'm lying. Look at what they did to Angie Stone, bro. They stole money from from her for over 20 years. Matter of fact, I told y'all, I forget nothing. I remember what Angie Stone said before she was murdered. Run the tape.
Anyway, it was told to me that they were single-handedly put in charge of sending out letters everywhere to make people think that I was the cause of him being exposed to alcohol, to drugs, to everything that could have gone wrong. And we need you to mail this out. And that person knew that it was all fabricated. And they were willing to go on record. And they don't care today, but they're willing to go on record to tell the truth, that they actually mailed letters out into the industry, blaming me for the fall and the demise of someone's career. It really gets me upset because
a peace plan for Gaza, a ceasefire in place, but Hamas is choosing terror and on a rampage. Mass executions of their own people in the street, random killings, repression. For peace, the Hamas reign of terror must end.
If you're currently using or planning to use any of these companies, and you can see your car listed here, then you should.
They set you up.
Because I don't do drugs, I don't do any of this stuff. So the person let me know, and it's going on record to say that when the time comes, they will step up to the mic and let it be known that that was their assignment, to destroy my credibility by way of making me look crazy in a relationship that was innocent and pure and real. As a matter of fact, it was so real and pure. You could tell by the nourishment of the music then was just pleasant. It was real. It was pure.
And look, let's be real. You think these people really wanted Angie Stone and D'Angelo together? Not no fake love. This was real love. They was making powerful songs. Songs like Everything. Songs like Cruising. And my all-time favorite, Brother, If You Know, You Know. And they didn't just ruin that perfect relationship. They are the reason that Angie Stone is dead today. And how ironic. Her kids just filed a lawsuit back in September. Check this out. And this article is by AP News. It was published September 4th, 2025. Hopkins and Stone's two children, Diamond Stone and Michael D'Angelo Archer, filed the lawsuit. They're suing the van driver, the truck driver, the man and companies who own the van, the trucking company, and the maker of the 18-wheel truck. The suit claims that the truck's collision avoidance system was faulty and failed to detect the van lying stationary in one lane of the interstate. The suit also claims that the truck driver was listening to music on headphones, wasn't paying attention, and never braked before slamming into the van at nearly 70 miles per hour. Make that make sense. Until this day, that truck driver was never arrested. Till this day, we haven't seen video images of this truck driver. Matter of fact, they said they're doing the whole investigation. Where is the results? We have no results. We have to do the investigation. If you look up his name of the truck driver, it's only one picture of him. Y'all don't find that suspicious? Look, I don't put nothing past the music industry. They would do anything. And yeah, we know that D'Angelo died at 51 years old from cancer. But let me ask you this. Who caused that? Don't worry, I'll wait. And then I started thinking, Aaliyah dead at 22, Tupac dead at 25 years old, Left Eye dead at 30 years old, Phyllis Hyman dead at 45 years old. Donny Hathaway dead at 33 years old. Nipsey Hussle dead at 33 years old. And I can go on and on. How ironic. It seems like our most important celebrities that speak up for the people, that actually care about their people, it's like they always dying young in mysterious ways, or they dying young from certain illnesses. It's the same illnesses all the time. Go back and do your research. It's like they can never die from old age in a peaceful way. It's like the industry takes them young, or it uses them up and it spits them out. And look, if y'all feel like I'm tripping, in my comment section, tell me I'm tripping. As the years went on, the weight of fame pushed D'Angelo into isolation. He withdrew from the spotlight and began battling addiction, depression, and self-destructive habits. Friends like Questlove of The Roots and producer Russell Elevado later admitted that D'Angelo became disillusioned with the music business. The same system that once celebrated him was now trying to control his sound, his body, and his image. Looking back, D'Angelo admitted the fame and pressure nearly destroyed him. I just wasn't built for that level of fame, he said. I had to disappear to find myself again. Even after Black Messiah, D'Angelo still faced battles with isolation, pressure, and health issues. The album was a comeback, but he continued struggling with perfectionism, stress, and exhaustion from the industry. Despite his success, the weight of fame and old wounds never fully left him. Make that make sense. Yeah. And like I told y'all earlier, it's the same story over and over and over again. These record labels know without us, they can't survive. Without Black Americans, they cannot survive. So they take your soul. And if you don't give them your soul, if you don't sell your soul, you die at 51 from cancer. If they can't take your soul, you die from an OD. If they can't take your soul, you die from a stroke. If they can't take your soul, you die from a heart attack. If they can't take your soul, you die from a goddamn airplane crash. If they can't take your soul, you die from a car accident. And I can go on and on. I told y'all the game is cold with these people. You can never trust them. Angie Stone and D'Angelo.
What? Trust no man. For their heart is desperately wicked. Know what the words say?
They refuse to sell their soul to this music industry. They refuse to be quiet. They went on interviews talking the way they talk. They went on interviews really speaking their mind. And while they was together, this music industry knew they had to break them up. They was too powerful. They don't want to wake up Black love. They need to wake up Black hate. They need all of us to hate each other. They don't want Black love. To them, they can't make money from that. They really can, but they think they can't. I told you, they don't think how we think. They don't move how we move. But
see everybody's perspective? See, it eventually turns into a flesh thing. See? I don't turn into a flesh thing at all. It's all spirit, straight through. Who next? Who next?
Supposedly because he was starting to know too much. Apparently, D'Angelo actually hired a private investigator to dig into Angie Stone's death because he was convinced it wasn't just some random accident. And honestly, he wasn't the only one thinking that. Fans have been side-eyeing Angie's passing from the very start. She tragically died back in March 2025. And while it was a car crash, a lot of people couldn't ignore the fact that Angie was the only one in the car who did.
Saying dark forces were involved. And here's where it gets even wilder. This isn't just Erykah throwing out random theories for attention. Apparently, D'Angelo himself confided in her before he passed. Sources are saying he told her directly that he'd been dealing with spiritual attacks, begging for her help and asking for spiritual protection. Erykah's always been deep into that energy and voodoo type work. So if she's saying something felt off, maybe there's more to it than meets the eye.
And if I never get it, at least you heard it from me, because I don't know what they might do to keep from paying me all the money they owe me. Attack. I know it was a spiritual attack on me. However, I was treated and God healed me, cleared up.
Even more haunting, people are pointing out that D'Angelo reached out to her right around the same time Angie Stone mysteriously passed away. So what really went down here? Did D'Angelo somehow know he was next after Angie Stone's mysterious passing? Because the way things are lining up, it's starting to look way too eerie. His family had been tight-lipped for months about his pancreatic cancer diagnosis, keeping everything under wraps until his death was confirmed. Then, when the news finally broke, they dropped this emotional statement that left everyone in tears. It read, "The shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in this life. After a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer, we are heartbroken to announce that Michael D'Angelo Archer, known to his fans around the world as D'Angelo, has been called home, departing this life today, October 14th, 2025. They went on to say, "We are saddened that he can only leave dear memories with his family, but we are eternally grateful for the legacy of extraordinarily moving music he leaves behind. We ask that you respect our privacy during this difficult time, but invite you all to join us in mourning his passing while also celebrating the gift of song that he has left for the world." You'd think people would just accept the family's statement and move on, right? Nope. Social media wasn't having any of that. The moment the post went up, confirming D'Angelo's cause of death as pancreatic cancer, fans flooded the comments accusing his family of hiding something. They're saying this story just doesn't add up, especially with how close his death came to Angie Stones. It's been only 4 months since Angie passed, and the internet hasn't stopped talking about how strange her death was either. People are connecting the dots fast, and the timeline is looking way too coincidental. Before her death, Angie went online furious, calling out record labels for allegedly stealing millions from her and even accusing them of using voodoo to keep her quiet. She wasn't just venting. She said she had receipts and was ready to take them to court. Angie made it clear she wasn't backing down, saying she was going to drag every single one of them and sue them into the ground. But then, just like that, she was gone. A car accident, they said. What makes this whole situation even more chilling is what Angie herself said before she died. She didn't just hint. She flat out implied that what she was going through felt like a full-blown spiritual attack on her and her family. She believed dark forces were being sent her way, and the people behind it weren't just after her money, they wanted her gone for good. And here's the part that's got everyone's skin crawling. Angie seemed to know something was coming. Before her death, she ended her rant by warning her followers to keep an eye on certain people if anything ever happened to her. Like, who even says that unless they already feel a target on their back? She clearly knew what was coming. That's why she spoke out the way she did. And just days later, it all played out exactly how she feared. Angie was leaving a show around 4 a.m., driving home like she always did when tragedy struck. Her car crashed in what's being labeled a deadly accident. But people aren't buying that story, not for a second. Because let's be real, one thing about these powerful Hollywood circles is that once they feel threatened, they move fast. The moment someone starts talking too much or digging where they shouldn't, things start happening. Angie had been performing nonstop, living her life, staying busy, until she started questioning her missing money. Then suddenly, boom, she's gone. It's just too clean, too convenient. Reports say her car flipped several times, leaving her and part of her crew badly injured. But here's where it gets insane. Witnesses claim she didn't actually die from the crash itself. She was conscious and trying to climb out when, out of nowhere, a mysterious truck came speeding straight toward her and smashed into the wreckage again. That second hit is what took her life instantly. Now tell me that doesn't sound like a scene straight out of a hit job movie? A random truck showing up just in time to make sure she didn't make it out alive? Come on! This feels too orchestrated, too specific to be a coincidence. I'm not saying anything for sure, but if this doesn't raise eyebrows, I don't know what will. But that wasn't the only shady part about Angie's so-called accident. Out of the 8 people in that car, she was the only one who didn't make it out alive. How does that even happen? Fans instantly started calling foul play. And to this day, many still believe it was a setup, something planned and executed with precision. Especially since Angie herself warned everyone that if something happened to her, we'd know exactly who was behind it. Now, here's where things take a wild turn. Back to D'Angelo and Erykah Badu. Rumors are swirling that before her death, Angie reached out to D'Angelo personally. She allegedly told him that certain powerful figures were coming for her and she didn't want to be silenced without someone knowing the truth. Apparently, she even gave him names. It might sound unbelievable, but D'Angelo and Angie had history. They'd gone through rough patches, but had already made peace for their son's sake. So her confiding in him? Totally possible. And word on the street says that once D'Angelo realized Angie's warnings were coming true, he freaked out. He supposedly went straight to Erykah, begging for spiritual protection because he believed whatever took Angie out was now coming for him too. And here's where things get downright eerie. Word is, after Angie's passing, D'Angelo started acting different. Close friends say he became paranoid, withdrawn, and constantly talked about shadows following him. He wasn't sleeping right, he stopped going out, and people close to him say he's...
Regular people talk about the shadow spirits being in the corner in the houses. It's real.
Started burning sage and keeping crystals around like his life depended on it. Erykah Badu, who's deep into spiritual protection and energy work, was one of the few people he trusted enough to open up to. Sources say D'Angelo confessed to her that he was seeing things, hearing whispers that...
Nah. Why don't we confide in Yahuwah, the Most High, before we confide in our soulmates or whatever the case may be? Trust in man before the spirit. You see why we have ending days or things happen to us?
Weren't there, feeling a heavy presence in his home. He allegedly told her straight up that he believed they were trying to drain his spirit before finishing him physically. Erykah supposedly tried to guide him through it, telling him to cleanse his aura, stay grounded, and protect his energy at all costs. But even she admitted that something about his situation felt off, as if he'd been spiritually marked. Then things took an even darker turn. People who visited him in his final months said he'd sometimes stare blankly into space, saying stuff like, "They already took Angie, I'm next." He reportedly started preparing for the worst, writing notes, cutting contact with industry people, and spending hours meditating alone in silence. By the time the cancer rumors surfaced, fans believed it was all just a cover-up. Some even think whatever force Angie warned him about finally got to him, just in a different way. Because let's be real, two people connected by both love and secrets dying within months of each other. Sadly, whatever spiritual work Erykah tried to do just wasn't strong enough to protect him. According to insiders, she's been devastated ever since the news broke. People close to her say she blames herself, believing she could have done more to shield him from whatever dark energy was after him. She's reportedly been keeping quiet, but behind the scenes, she's completely heartbroken. Not only because she lost a friend, but because she and D'Angelo had history. Now, this is where things get complicated. Around the same time he was involved with Angie Stone, Erykah and D'Angelo were rumored to have their own deep connection, one that went beyond music. They never confirmed they were together, but everyone saw the chemistry, especially after their sensual collaboration on Your Precious Love. That track had people convinced there was something more going on. Fans were shipping them hard back in the day, and honestly, they didn't do much to deny it. And if the rumors circling right now are even halfway true, Erykah might need to watch her back, because people are whispering that she could be next. Think about it. Two people tied to her spiritually and emotionally are gone within months of each other, both under strange circumstances. If there really was something dark chasing D'Angelo, who's to say it stopped with him? Then came the most heartbreaking part. D'Angelo and Angie's son, Michael Archer Jr., released a statement that had everyone in tears. He said, "It has been a very rough and sad year for me, but one thing that both of my parents taught me was to be strong." Can you imagine the pain of losing both your parents in less than a year? It's beyond tragic. He talked about how devastated he was, how it felt unreal waking up and realizing he'd never hear either of their voices again. The boy's grief struck a chord with fans everywhere, especially knowing the shady backstory behind both deaths. Angie dies after exposing industry corruption, and D'Angelo dies right after allegedly seeking spirit.
What spiritual? If they're not Most High, that we got to keep messing with the God of Eckhans and getting in trouble, that we don't know no better? Surely we know better than that, right? Surely we have got to know better than that, right? Well, there's more. We got one more after this.
If you're clean and you know it, wiggle round. If you're clean and you know it, boogie down.
D'Angelo get caught up in that same machine? The one that loves talent but destroys the person behind it? Apparently, fans think she is. So how about we just get right into breaking it down? Okay, I know y'all saw how D'Angelo's family announced in a public statement that he had died after a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer. Then multiple news outlets later clarified that the cancer he battled was pancreatic cancer. Apparently, he had been hospitalized for months and spent about 2 weeks in hospice care before passing away. Now, anyone who was keen probably noticed that in the months leading up to his death, D'Angelo had largely withdrawn from public life, and based on reports, it was largely because of his health condition. But you know what? Other than his health condition, D'Angelo was allegedly battling other things behind the scenes with regards to his music career. Well, at least that is what people picked up when Lauryn Hill posted this as a tribute. People need reflection. I regret not having more time with you. Your undeniable beauty and talent were not of this world, and a presence not of this world needs protection in a world that covets light and the anointing of God. You, sir, moved us, stirred us, inspired, and even intimidated others to action with your genius. Thank you for being a beacon of light to a generation and beyond who had no remembrance of the legacy that preceded us. Thank you for charting the course and for making space during a time when no similar space really existed. You imaged a unity of strength and sensitivity and black manhood to a generation that only saw itself as having to be one or the other. It is my earnest prayer that you are in peace, far away from selfishness, fear, and or controlling interests, far from possessiveness, far from greed, far from manipulation, far from exploitation, far from intentionally designed chaos, and that you, brother, are in peace, in bliss, and in eternal light and fulfillment with our Father in heaven. I love you and I miss you. May God grant peace and shelter to your family, true friends, and genuine appreciators, Brother King. I mean, Lauryn Hill's post about D'Angelo's death feels quite heavy, right? It's almost like she's mourning more than just a man. She's mourning what the industry does to men like him. Well, according to what people have said on the internet, that line about being far from greed, far from manipulation, far from exploitation, far from intentionally designed chaos, that doesn't quite sound random. Apparently, if you read between the lines, you will realize that Lauryn could be hinting that D'Angelo, much like Prince, was being exploited by that same machine that chews up geniuses and spits them out when they stop playing along. Cause just like Prince, D'Angelo was fiercely independent, spiritual, and protective of his art. Okay, the thing about Prince is that he started realizing that he was getting less than he deserved from his label Warner Brothers, and so he started fighting for his rights. Maybe he thought it would just be as easy as telling Warner Brothers that he wanted out, but that was hardly the case. Warner Brothers frustrated him cause that's what record labels do. Then in the build-up to the release of the Gold Experience, Prince and Warner were at loggerheads over both money and his music, so he decided to take the battle public by appearing with the word slave written on the side of his face. His argument was that he was signed to Warner, and they, as a result, owned and controlled his name as well as any music.
Now, let me see if I can find this, man. I just heard something. I don't know where I was. I don't know if it was TikTok. I was talking about how we as the people gave up our crownship, and this is how they took over America. When she had said that, I was like, man, where did I hear this at? Where did I hear this at? I was like, we already knew Michael Jackson was the prince of the Indian tribe in North Carolina. But then they mentioned Chris Brown. It's like, it was your turn, and they took his crown. I don't know if I was on YouTube or if I was on TikTok. But I think it was YouTube. I just gotta remember the video, y'all. I done kept y'all long enough. I'm gonna find that video and I'm gonna come do a part 2 up here. Cause otherwise it won't make sense. I got to find that. So, I showed enough to show you about these Eastern Star witches and what they do. Some of them portray like they ministers of light, when they really vampire suckers. Rocker, y'all.